How did you come to work in this field?
Well, I have family in the aviation industry. My dad and one of my uncles are both in the aviation industry. My dad has been in the aviation industry for around 10 to 11 years, and my uncle has been in it for around 15 to 17 years. So I would hear them talk a lot about their jobs. They both enjoy it. And for me, personally, I'm not the type of person that would like to work in an office or in any place having to do too much paperwork. So I decided to go into this industry just because I get to work with my hands every day. I get to move around, being a big shop, nice shop environment, which is what I like. And the pay is exceptional, if you ask me. It's relatively well paid industry. So that's mostly it for me. I also like airplanes. I've always been fascinated how the history of flight started, the history of airplanes started, and how you can look up at an airplane today and it's just a big chunk of metal basically, but it's all just perfectly designed to bring that big piece of metal, which basically all it is, up into the air and keep flying and just transport people, transport anything basically. There's some aircraft that can transport tanks, that can transport buses. There's a lot of different things that you can do with aircraft.
What are your duties and responsibilities?
Well, some of my duties and responsibilities are receiving a gear. Receiving a gear, basically, what I have to do is we have a tape recorder and a logbook, so we have to do inventory on any landing gear that we receive. You basically record the landing gear from top to bottom, and we can't miss anything, because if you miss anything that was broken, damaged, or just missing upon receiving of the gear, then the company has to pay for that. And in aviation, things can get real expensive and real fast. A small washer or just a screw, nut, something you may think may be insignificant, can cost up to $1,000. Personally, I've worked with parts that are to me, to just anybody that may look at them, may look just a simple part, but in reality, one of the parts I was working with, our lead man told us that it was worth $100,000, which with that you can buy a house. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's nothing too cheap in aviation. I have to disassemble gears from top to bottom, which means take them apart and without damaging any of the internal parts, which are very fragile. Even using a little scraper or a pick the wrong way can damage a part. And so in some cases you have to scrap the part. Therefore, your company has to buy a brand new part costing, it depends, it ranges. But there's some seals that you gotta be real careful when you're taking them off, because if you mess one of them up, they're up to $10,000. Just for a little scratch, it has to be scrapped, because it won't retain the liquid well anymore. Also, another thing I have to do is called it's a form of it's like a checklist of everything that the gear came in, everything that was damaged, everything that needs to be replaced. It's called bill of materials. And bill of materials, basically, you after the gear has been disassembled completely and degreased and washed, it comes to a station 5, which is where whoever is working in station 5 has to look at all the parts that came with that gear, see which ones are scrapped, see which ones are no longer useful for the part, see which parts are discrepant. And discrepant means there's something wrong with it. It may be used again or maybe not, but it has to be looked at by an engineer. And the bill of materials, basically you're telling the customer what he's going to have to pay and how much it's going to cost them. And if they don't want to pay, then we get to keep the gear, and all operations stop on the gear.
What factor would make one fail or succeed in this type of work?
Well, fatigue, stress, not being able to perform at your fullest would definitely be one factor that can affect you. Everything you do in aviation has definitely a large consequences, either good or bad. I mean, you can mess up a part if you break something, scratch something, do something incorrectly, and you don't say anything about it, and that part goes on an airplane. It could cause a disaster easily because everything on an airplane is designed to work at certain tolerances. So, I mean, just any little mess up on your part can definitely cause a lot of disruption in this field. So I guess just being at your fullest every day, paying attention to what you do, and not letting complacency set in would be my answer for that.
What is a typical day like for you?
Typical day for me would be arrive on time, of course, clock in, then we all meet at Station 5 where our lead man tells us what we're gonna do, and then after we have what we're gonna do, every job has its own numeric codes, so we enter those numeric codes into the computer. So that's the job we're going to be signed on to for most of the day. And I head over to whatever station I was put in. We have 5 stations at my job. So either station you're put in, we go to that station, do what you got to do. I mean, if it's tear down, you got to wash, or you got to do table. Any of those things, you basically just do your best every day. Try to stay focused, try to stay alert, and at the end of the day, you give your results in the turnover sheet. You tell them what you did. You tell the lead man what you did, what's expected for the crew in the morning, and you clock back out again.
What challenges are currently faced by you or your department of organization?
Well, one of the challenges faced by me is, of course, I go to school and I go to work at the same time. Throughout one day, I'm only home around 4 hours a day or 5 hours a day. So a lack of time for me personally would be one of the challenges